Welcome to And Then There Were Three. I'm Anna.
I'm Kaley. And I'm Katie.
We could barely get through this introduction.
Seriously.
Jesus criminy. Kaley, what are you drinking?
It's called a Panera charged lemonade, and I was leaving Target today, and I was like, I really want a refreshment, but Starbucks was packed with all the stay-at-home moms, so I couldn't go there, and Panera's line was non-existent. So I'm like, I've been wanting to charge
A what?
I've been wanting to try this thing because I saw a TikTok about it, and she drank like 4 of these and got sent to the hospital.
So Kaley decided to
So
charge
obviously
one.
Kaley had to get one.
The charged up Panera drinks apparently send you to the hospital, so we're going to try it to see if Kaley gets going to the hospital by the end of the show. So
Yeah, it's just apparently
We'll
a really
see if
caffeinated
Kaley explodes.
lemonade.
Okay, so this weekend I had a lot of people come up to me saying how much they love the podcast and stuff. And something that they always said is how legendary Pat you are.
woo, Pat.
Legendary?
How does that make you feel? They're like, does Pat
that's
know that
super
he's a
nice.
legend?
I don't know if I'm actually a legend. though.
Like everyone
The
knew
legend of
They're
Pat.
like,
yeah.
What do you have
Pat?
to say to your fans?
to your Patty Baddies.
To the Patty Baddies. Please address
I mean, that's
the Patty
super
Baddies.
nice. That's super nice. That's super sweet. Thank you.
He's blushing.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the lights off in here because I can't see. That's super nice of your friends. That's like super huge overstatement, but that's super nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
They love
That's
your
sweet.
commentary as
Oh.
well.
Oh well, thanks. You guys make it. You guys make it
Oh.
easy to. You guys make it easy to commentary. Comment
You have
whatever,
a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I have a lot of things to say, especially.
We're
when you
not
get-
short on ideas here.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right.
So yesterday I had an eye-opening moment. I went to the gym in my apartment and I got downstairs ready to work out to Drake's new album, super pumped up. And I go to take my AirPods out, they're dead. I'm pissed, right? Like I cannot work out unless I have music on. So I marched myself back up my 2 flights of stairs, of course, how awful, right? And I go and I have to get my wires, like the old time
wires.
headphones, put them in my phone, go back downstairs to work out. And I was like, you know what? This is so annoying that I was just so upset about this because I'm lucky I like literally have legs and I have the ability to work out. Like I had a really eye-opening moment. I was like, why am I even complaining about not having AirPods that work at the moment when I can when people literally can't even work out because they don't have legs or a place to work out at. So that reminds me about being grateful for things that
Two
we have.
vastly different things.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, that's like I feel
Okay.
bad for people
No.
that don't have legs and that don't have a gym.
Yes, both
Honestly,
of those
though,
things.
I recently did have this like epiphany.
But if you don't have gratitude,
About not having legs.
no, like just like being thankful that I can
Yeah.
run.
yeah, exactly. Because I was doing
I
research. I was doing research on an athlete that I'm interviewing. His name's Zach Miller, and he almost got his leg amputated after an NFL game because of how serious his injury was. Like his knee was like 90 degrees bent the other way. Horrible, horrible injury. Ended his career. He's now like a country music artist. Super cool story. He's from Omaha, or he's from Wahoo, so around the area. And it just got me thinking like that ended his whole entire career, and he was rehabbing for so long and trying to get just his ability to walk back. And
That's
it's just
crazy.
crazy how many things we take for granted every single day that you don't even realize. I don't know. Just really opened my eyes. Kaley, any thoughts
Was that
about
when
your
you were
gratitude?
blind?
I was also well, I started this podcast and I was like, yeah, I need to tell a story of one time that I went blind. That was an overstatement. So one time, this is gonna make Kaley laugh. I took a decongestant pill,
God.
and it must have been like
Anna wakes up, like, she doesn't even give it 5 minutes to just get her body back to normal or whatever after you wake up, and she immediately takes medicine. Like, you're not sick, you're just tired.
anyways. I was in like middle school and I took probably like a Zyrtec D and it like fucked me up. And I took a nap, woke up from it, and like shot up out of my bed. And I don't know, like I was like wired, like freaking out. And I like got up and I was blind, literally just blind. And I
From Zyrtec?
yeah, no, like I like got up too fast.
Oh,
Like all the
so
blood rushing from my head.
You weren't blind, but
Well, I was
okay.
blind. Like I couldn't see anything when I woke up. And I
You
was
got up too fast.
no, but I was blind for longer than I would have been blind like doing that normally. I was
So
blind.
10 seconds instead of 5.
I got up too fast, and then I was trying to run to go get my mom to tell her I was blind, and I sprinted
You
right
fainted.
into my door. Just blind girl into the
Why
door.
would you not yell? Why would you get up and run?
I don't know.
Why is your instinct when you're blind to
run.
to run? Why wouldn't you just give it a second? Scream.
Shut up. You can't even say anything about being blind because you have 20/20 vision. This is something
That's
that you
facts.
should be grateful of.
I am grateful.
Is that you don't have to wake up every morning and put on contacts.
I know.
I was
hate that.
just thinking that today because every time I put contacts in, my eyes just start watering and I have the worst issues with contacts. And I'm like, I would do anything to wake up with 20/20 vision.
Same.
It's an awesome life. I just wake up
Crazy.
and I can see. I can't believe you guys wake up and are blind.
Like you
I
would
was
after you
blind
took
one time.
Zyrtec D.
I
That's how it
overdosed on
feels.
Zyrtec D.
That's how it feels every morning as us.
Speaking of medications, should I tell the Mr. Skinny story?
Yes.
So there's this like thing on Twitter
Wait, I also want to tell a story that has nothing to do with that, but I just remembered.
after.
Sure.
Okay. So there's this.
I feel like I have to say that I want to tell a story so I don't get interrupted. And
Oh my god. Here we go. So there's this thing that apparently if you take too much Benadryl, which don't do this at home,
Pop a Benny and black out.
if you pop too many bennies,
you will black out.
the allergy medication that also
the
makes you
allergy
super
ghost will come
drowsy.
on you.
There's this thing. This is a real thing. It's called the Hat Man will come visit you. And apparently, if you take too much Benadryl, like this certain pill, people have seen this Hat Man over and over again. It's basically just like a hallucination from taking too many Benadryl at once. And I must be like super sensitive to medication, obviously, if Zyrtec made me go blind.
God.
But we were in Florida and we were staying at our friend Lauren's place, and they always had this like weird, creepy feeling about their guest bedroom. And me and Kaley were staying the night.
I never
at-
had this creepy feeling until before this, but whatever.
Okay, well, I always did, and I'm sensitive, so
Okay.
Zyrtec D and Ghost.
and so I don't know if this is the Benadryl. I don't know if I had a paranormal experience because the more I think about it, it might have been the Benadryl. But I was like sick, I guess. Of course, always on vacation. I'm always sick.
She wasn't sick.
Anyways,
Let me just put
I
that
was
out
sick.
there.
And I took Benadryl, but
She
I
wanted
also
to go to bed, so she literally just took Benadryl.
sure. And I also
Not safe.
had drank a lot of wine, and those probably
Also not safe.
interacted with each other.
Typically, you're not
And-
supposed to mix like lots of medication with alcohol.
Well, I literally took 2 Benadryl, and that's not a lot. And the Hat Man came to visit me, essentially. So I woke up, and there's a man like 6 feet tall standing right above my bed on the right side. Kaylee's sleeping next to me, and he's just staring at me. And I was like, what the fuck? And I stood up and I started punching him in the stomach. Boom, boom, boom. And then I ran up the stairs and I tried to grab Lauren and her boyfriend. Wasn't it you that I woke up, right?
So
Or was
you're trying to wake
tried
Katie
to
up.
wake
I was
but
trying to
impossible
trying
wake
to
up.
wake up Katie, and I couldn't wake her up, and so I woke up her boyfriend, and I was like, "Someone's in the house! Someone's in the house!" Like an intruder was in the house, but it was just the Hat Man from Benadryl.
And so I wake up in the middle of the night and Anna's sitting upright at like 3 a.m. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? And you're like, nothing. And being so weird, I'm like, fucking tell me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, because while you were still sleeping, I made Max, the boyfriend, go downstairs with me, and my weapon of choice was a hairbrush that I brought downstairs to defend myself against this ghost man, who I thought was a human person that broke into the house. And so I go to the room, I'm like, he's in there. And they're like, isn't Kaley in there too? I'm like, yeah, I just left her. Like, I'm so sorry,
You literally
Kaley.
left me with an intruder.
I'm sorry, Kaley. I didn't wake you up. Every man for themselves at that point. And so we call the ghost Mr. Skinny, because we opened the door and I was like, where the fuck is he? And I'm like, maybe he's under the bed. And literally there's like an inch of space in between the bed and the floor. And I was like, he must have been a really skinny man. And so we called the ghost Mr. Skinny. And he did come back, and
Did you take Benadryl again that
I
night?
did, yeah. I did take it. So I don't know. I need to take out one of the independent variables and try this again at the house. Too bad they sold the house, so we can't try again or get Ghostbusters there. But yeah, Mr. Skinny lives on forever in our memories.
Mr. Skinny, and he also lived on in our sorority house.
Yeah, they had to cut out.
We had,
this
like-
flat Stanley thing.
We had like a flat Stanley, and it was like a 7 foot tall figure man, and he was like like arms, like
Just like
pointing,
just a
Like a figurine.
a wooden
a wooden cardboard cutout. And we called him Mr. Skinny. And so when we were living in the house, we would place Mr. Skinny, the cardboard cutout, in like people's rooms or in like scary places. And so one time Mr. Skinny was in the bathroom and I went to the bathroom in the middle of the night. It's like 2:00 in the morning. I opened the bathroom stall. There's just this huge male figurine, and I just screamed at the top of my lungs. So
the amount of times I would pee in the middle of the night and that thing would scare the shit out of me, and I like knew that it was there too, but it just every time I look at him would always scare the
Whatever
fuck out
happened
of me.
to it?
He
I
got
don't
beat
know.
up and thrown away.
I got thrown away.
Sadly, we wanted to keep him forever, but
Kaley, what was your story?
it has nothing to do with ghosts or anything.
Okay.
But I just remembered something funny from high school. Okay, so I was getting ready this morning and I woke up and I had 2 zits on my face. And I was like, oh, god damn it. Then I have to go into fluorescent lighting, which just makes it way worse. And then I remember like in high school, I used to like hate breaking out because the fluorescent lighting would just really bring out every imperfection on my face.
Yeah.
And then it got me thinking to this one time, still to this day, the worst zit I've ever
You're
had.
talking about Lubert.
The zit was so bad that I literally named him Lubert, like for my Carly, that the guy that had the wart, because the zit was so big that like it had to have a name.
Like how
it-
big was it? Like
like
a
this-
quarter?
Yes, like ginormous. So basically, I had
Holy
like
crap.
Didn't you lie and say like?
yes, I'm getting there. Okay, so it's basically like 3 zits that formed into one because I like I like picked at them, obviously, and it like turned into this giant scab thing on my cheek, and I'm like, this is so
Lubert.
bad that like I can't hide it. Like I have to bring attention to it because otherwise people are gonna be like, what the fuck is up with your face? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with it?
You have to address
And
it.
so I'm like, I need to address it, but that is so embarrassing. You know, I'm like 16 years old in high school.
I need to make a
That's a
public
horrible
statement to the
age.
high school about my huge zit.
Yeah. Well, because I'm like, I don't
During
know.
the
I just-
assembly. Hello, everyone.
It is I,
thing is-
Lubert.
Lubert. Anyways, so I'm like, I need to come up with like an excuse as to why there's a giant scab on my face. And so we came to the conclusion that we were going to tell everyone that I burned myself with a curling iron because that's how bad it was. Like literally so
Holy
bad.
crap.
And it looked like just like a giant blister. And so I told everyone that. And then looking back, like this is so dramatic. I literally cried in the bathroom because of this. But this girl told everyone that it actually wasn't a burn mark. It was a zit. And
That is so mean.
I was really upset at the time. Obviously, I could not give a fuck now, and I wouldn't lie about that. But
Mhm.
I still think about Lubert sometimes, and I really hope he never resurfaces.
Lubert's coming to haunt you.
Lubert is
Along
Mr.
with
Skinny.
Mr. Skinny.
Lubert is the ghost of Kaylee's past. That just reminded me about how fucking mean kids were in high school, early high school, and like middle school. Literally,
So
one
mean.
time I was in the middle school bathroom and I was in the mirror, like washing my hands and like looking at myself. And then this girl literally came in and said, "Move over, you're ugly."
Oh my god.
What?
What?
Who raised you?
Who
Her name is-
raised you?
Who was it?
Alina. Yeah, that girl.
Oh.
If you're listening, that was rude.
Middle schoolers are so weird. All the boys in middle school used to have like pantsing wars.
Oh,
And, like,
yeah,
they would-
pantsing
Oh
wars.
my
Run-
fucking
they
god!
would-
This just reminded me.
Yeah, Kaylee got
Katie's
pants.
Stupid ex-boyfriend. We're at a football game. This is literally sexual assaultment. So it's actually
sexual assault.
Assaultment.
this actually isn't really funny because like I don't know, like
Okay.
depending if it's the wrong girl, like that
it's
would
funny.
be fucked up. But it like I knew him, so I guess it was a little better. Still, I would not be okay with this ever. But I'm at a high school football game freshman year, and Katie's boyfriend at the time decided I'm literally in like Sophie shorts, like just like
Yeah.
pants
like,
that are easy to
thin.
grab.
Disclaimer, he sucked.
Yeah,
Disclaimer,
disclaimer, he
he's
sucked.
crazy.
And I'm at a high school football game as
In
a
the
freshman in the
bleachers.
stands around an entire crowd of people. This little boy pulls my fucking shorts down at a football game, and I'm like, "Oh my god, are my pants down?" And I'm like, "Holy shit!" And like
Keep
I did,
looking around.
and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And like
No,
immediately
we had
just,
like Victoria's Secret like pink underwear on too.
I was wearing like purple underwear
Yeah,
or something.
yes, they were purple.
And I didn't even know how to react. I think I just laughed it off. But like internally, I was like, I can't believe that just fucking happened.
But like middle schooler boys, one time, okay, so they would like go around and pants each other around the school. And one time, one of the boys pantsed another boy in front of like our math teacher and pulled his underwear down
Oh,
with his pants, and he was just standing there like no
Naked?
pants, like naked on the bottom
oh,
in front of our math teacher.
that is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
One time in 3rd grade, this kid in my class was trying to take his sweatshirt off, and he had like a t-shirt under it, but he accidentally took off both. And he was like a bigger kid too, so he pulled it all off, and he was just naked, like his shirt was off. And he was like, our teacher's name was Mrs. Drecke, and he goes, "Mrs. Drecke, I don't have a shirt on. What do I do?"
Kids are so
Like,
weird.
what? Remember the fear of like calling your teacher mom? Did
Yes.
you? Yes.
I always did that.
I was trying to explain to someone that. I'm like, dude, it was like the worst thing ever when you accidentally called your teacher mom. Like that was a thing.
Why is that a universal thing? Like, why can you not,
Mom? Mom, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, what?
I remember one time I was like, "Love you, mom," or something to my teacher.
What? I didn't know that was a thing.
What?
Have you guys-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a thing.
Did you guys all do that at least once?
I don't know if I ever
More than
did it.
once.
For
More than
sure.
once.
I don't think I ever did that. I don't know, but I definitely like know what you're talking about. Where
yeah.
I
It was so embarrassing.
there were kids that did it, and then everyone would be like, "Ooh."
Yeah. There was this other kid at lunch that that accidentally said the F word out loud. And then he told on himself and like told the principal. He was like bawling. He was like, "I said the F word. Like, why
Oh, dork.
are you tattling on yourself?" Oh my god, I have another funny story. So when I was in like, I don't know, probably elementary school, I didn't know like
Why are we always
like,
talking about elementary
flipping
school?
the bird was. It's just so funny. I didn't know what flipping the bird was, like flipping somebody off, and someone told me that it meant that you hated God in elementary school, and I was like, because we were, God,
Dude, kids
Kaley.
come up with the weirdest shit.
I feel
No,
far away again.
But here's the story. So we were in line for music class, and they were like telling me to put my middle finger up, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is my middle finger." And I like kept putting it up, and they're
you
like,
did not sound like that.
they're like, "Why are you?" And they're like, "That means you hate God." And I was like, "Oh, like, why would I do that?" And then I started going like this, like making the "I love you" sign, and then going like this.
They cancel each other out.
Because I was like, "No, I meant I love you, God." Kids are so weird. Like, what?
Your guys' thoughts on, I saw this on like another podcast. Do you think that you can be friends with your ex?
Ow! God, that scared me.
Do that. She's literally pounding on
warning.
my chair.
Do you think you can be friends with your ex? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can be friends with your ex.
Pat, I want Pat's input on this.
I don't have an ex, so I can't really say, but I feel like, yeah, there's like mutual friends. Like you guys can be like okay around each other.
If they're a
not,
nice
like,
person.
Good friends. Yeah.
If they're a good person. Yeah. If they're not, then no, I don't think so.
Not like good friends, but like mutual friends where like you can still be in like a group with
Yeah.
each other.
I think good friends is dangerous.
good friends
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
Mutual friends where you can all like
Yeah,
go
like,
out with a like, yeah. I
and
think
I
that's
just think
fine.
there's like obviously different levels to like a relationship. Like obviously, if you were in like a really intense long relationship, I don't think you can be friends if you were like in love with this
I
person.
have another question.
You know,
Yeah. I think that's too tough. I feel like space
But
is
if, like,
better.
What if
If-
you're in a relationship with somebody who's really good friends with their ex?
I would say
wouldn't
no.
Like that.
I would not like that.
I would
Only based on my like I personally never really had an ex, but all based on all my friends, they always go back to their fucking ex, Katie. And
Katie's the
I
queen
feel
of
like that would be
exes.
very dangerous.
I'm sorry. I would say that like if I had a boyfriend and they were good friends with their ex, I would think it's weird. I definitely do want them to be like civil and friends with their ex because I think that if all of your exes hate you,
Yeah.
then you're actually the
point.
problem too. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. I feel like I would want the drama. It'd be like spicy.
Stop. Kaylee's never been in a relationship, and I just
I
can't wait
just
till she's in
cannot
one.
wait
and,
until
and
Kaylee's
Who's
trying
gonna
to
be
tell
the
us.
lucky man?
Kaylee's trying to tell us that she's not gonna be a psycho girlfriend. Like, yeah, you are.
I'm not gonna be crazy.
you're gonna be
You're
so
literally
crazy.
crazy as a friend.
Yeah,
Define crazy though.
Just crazy.
like we have to take care of you. You're demanding.
Yeah. You need attention all the time.
I don't need attention. I just want someone to listen to me.
That is literally the definition of attention.
That is the best thing I've ever heard.
Like what?
Oh my god.
That is
I
your
just
tagline.
don't want to like. Yeah,
We
like,
could put that on a t-shirt, honestly. Like I can see it like a bedazzled t-shirt.
I don't want attention. I just want people to listen.
I just want people to listen
That's literally
and like
giving
care about what I
attention.
say.
That's attention.
Basically attention.
What do you
But,
think
like,
getting
when
attention
when
is?
I say like I want I don't like when I think of attention, I think of like I want everyone to watch me like twerk and dance in the middle of a circle. Like
What?
that's
Attention means like
Why would that-
quality time.
In what
Oh.
way would the boyfriend like? Would that be giving? you
Go
attention?
Kaley. Go Kaley.
Like,
Go
what?
Kaley. No, what are you talking about?
Kaylee's not going to be an attention whore because she doesn't want to twerk in front of her
I
boyfriend.
think
and
I
have
would
him
be
cheer.
a great girlfriend.
All right, Frankenstein, build your own boyfriend. What is it?
Tall. Talks less than me probably.
I hope. Dear God.
Has bionic supersonic ears.
Can listen to every single word and know what you're saying and repeat it back.
Funny.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's it.
I think that if-
Mustache is a plus.
I think that if your boyfriend didn't listen to you and you're like, what did I just say? You're like, I don't know. You'd be like, "Ah!"
Like you literally Hulk out.
You
No,
would-
I
you
get
would
pissed
literally-
off.
You get mad if your mom
Exactly.
doesn't listen to you.
My
Like,
mom never listens to me. Mom, if you're listening, I've called you out on this multiple times. You need to
more
turn,
attention.
turn off bingo on the TV and listen to what happened in my day, okay?
Bingo on the TV.
She's literally
There's
Karen-
a reason why she tunes you out. I'm gonna say that.
she yelled at me yesterday. I came home for a day. I come home like once a month now. And she told me I was being too loud. And I was like, that's your definition of loud. I was like, my friends never tell me I'm too loud.
You are loud.
You're
Though.
so
As a
We are
roommate-
all loud.
As a roommate,
It's not like you as a roommate being loud. Like you are allowed. Like you're screaming right now. You literally cannot go on the phone with someone without like screaming at them. Pat, are
Same
you a
thing in my
strict
head.
parent?
we've already asked him this.
Kind of.
No, we didn't.
Not really. I mean, kind of.
Kind
You're
of.
kind of a strict
Yeah.
parent.
I was when they were younger,
Yeah.
but not crazy.
If you caught your child sneaking out, what would you do?
Kill them. 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I'd let them get. I would kind of trap them so they got like.
So say in 5
Busted?
years, your children start a podcast and say all the things that we said. What would you say to them?
I wouldn't be mad then.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But it's more of the current time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it's in the moment, you're pissed. But
Yeah.
if I tell a story from 5 years ago, what are you?
I
Gonna,
just
what are you gonna do
recently
about
told my mom that I've smoked weed before. I was like
What did
traumatized
she
to ever
say?
tell her.
it? Yeah.
She was dying laughing at my story.
Oh yeah.
What's your
I
story?
don't-
Say it.
I don't smoke the weed ever, really.
Kaylee's
Because
a huge stoner.
You couldn't
Because-
tell.
yeah.
No.
And
Kaylee's-
so I'm like, you know what? I don't do it now. So I guess I'll tell her. One time,
like I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's not
like
it's not like a
It's not a secret.
current issue. So like, I'll tell you about the
Nor was it ever.
the last time I've smoked weed. Basically, was like 5 years ago, and I took a little too much. I don't know. I hadn't eaten all day. I don't fucking know what my issue was. And like anything else, I can't handle anything. And I like got way too high.
It was also with people who were like experienced.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got really high.
She was with stoners.
and it was okay. No, I was with like my friends. Like I wasn't like hanging out with stoners though. But like yeah.
No.
And I
I
got
honestly stumbled across
It
them
was
in a
just a
parking lot.
super-
They're like, "Hey, do you want to come?"
It was just super random. It was the middle of the day. It was like 2 p.m. And I was high out of my mind within like a second. Like I like literally thought that I was going to die. I was looking up if I can die from weed. I remember that I was about to call my mom and tell her everything because I was so scared. I had no idea what was happening. And then I was like freaking out. And then all of a sudden my mom snap DMs me
You're like so.
as I'm freaking out. I'm
you're
having
like
a panic
so
attack.
paranoid.
And all she said was hi. And I remember in that moment.
Are you serious?
I remember in that moment because I was high. I was like, holy shit, she knows I'm high. All she said was HI, like hi. Like what? And I'm like, oh my fucking God, she knows that I'm stoned.
And then we had to go over to our friend's house. Me and Kaylee were both high in this moment,
But,
and
like, I
we had
was
never
way
really done it
worse.
before. You were way
I
worse,
was
but
way worse. And we went over to our friend's house and I'm
Whose
laying on her
mom-
bed playing Candy Crush to distract my mind. And I left a fucking pair of socks at this girl's house. I don't need those socks ever again. Really, if I leave my socks at your house, they're all yours. Don't give them back to me. The mom, of course, tries to hand me the fucking pair of socks. And as I'm like so high and I didn't know how to like interact with her because you know when you're high, you just like
you're
over
overthinking it.
analyze every interaction. And
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, was she talking to me? Like, what do I do? And I
Socks.
just stare at her handing me the socks and I'm like, I don't know what to to do. I literally didn't like, and it was the weirdest thing. And I was like, give me the
It's
fuck out of here.
scary. I feel like everyone's mad at me and like talking behind my back and stuff. Whenever I'm high.
The first
I was trying to give myself goosebumps because I thought that it would come out of me.
No,
I was so high.
Say the phone thing too. What were you doing?
Oh, I was like texting on my phone to like, I was just trying to do anything to distract myself, like, and not think about how fucking high I was. And so I was like texting on my phone or doing something, and I could like literally feel the vibrations. Like, keep in mind, this is my first time ever like really being like super high. So like, I didn't know what, like, I hated it. And like, I could like feel like I felt like I was inside my phone. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was the weirdest.
Wait, was your
fucking
shit laced?
thing.
Like what?
I don't know. And then I was trying to take a nap and like sleep it off. And the whole time I just thought that I was on an elevator, and the elevator kept dropping.
Oh,
I don't know. And I'm like, is
That's
this
not
normal?
fun.
my first occurrence with the marijuana, like just seeing marijuana, not smoking it. I was in like 8th grade, and my cousin had a nugget of marijuana, and I was like deathly afraid of weed when I was a kid, like deathly afraid. Like my mom was a drug counselor, so like I was told you smoke weed and you die. You know, like not a good thing. And
Which
my
can
cousin
also
had-
happen.
The first time I smoked weed, it was out of an apple. Okay, keep going.
Jesus. And so my cousin knew that I was like deathly afraid of weed, and she was just fucking with me, and she's older than me. And she chased me around her bedroom with this nugget of weed, and I'm screaming my head off, running around the room like away from the nugget of weed that she's trying to hold in my face. And then she gets so close to me that I smack it out of her hand, and it like crumbles all over the floor. And then
Was she pissed?
Oh, she was mad. They were like trying to like glue it back together, basically. And then I like run away, go outside, and I remember I'm jumping on their trampoline, like trying to get away from them. And I Google, can you get high from smelling weed? Like, no, you can't get high from smelling weed.
Oh my god.
Like, I thought I was high, and I thought I was gonna like actually pass away.
My stepmom told me that we should do an episode super high, and I just said Kaley would be freaking out the entire time. But me
I don't.
and Anna
Okay,
are really
I don't freak
funny.
out anymore. Like I've got my anxiety under control.
Me and Katie high is really
But-
funny.
Oh my god! If you think I laugh now, I would be.
dude.
I don't know if we could do a podcast high, because me and Katie would look at each other and we just burst out laughing. Like we
I
just
can't
look at each
talk.
other and just like start crying.
I like can't. Get,
I don't think you could be on the episode.
No, I wouldn't be able to talk. I don't know why. When I'm high, I just like it's so much effort to take to speak.
So
like,
comment if
yeah,
we should do a high
It's
episode.
really hard to
It's
tell
really
a story.
hard to tell a story, and then when you get to laughing, like you're like because you're laughing so
Yes.
fucking hard.
No, but like we don't even.
I want to get high.
No,
You'd
I
have to do it like after hours with nobody else here.
No, we
Yeah.
wouldn't. There's like these edibles that are legal.
Oh my god, I have a story.
legal
Delta
ones.
8, yeah.
The
I
Delta
have
8.
a story about those. So
We're gonna light up. We're gonna light up in Studio A
Yeah,
here
we're
at
gonna
her.
smoke a blunt. No, we wouldn't
Um,
smoke a blunt. We would eat a legal edible. Thank you, the police and the FBI watching.
I have a story about Delta 8s. So I was hanging out with Katie one night, and we each took a Delta 8 and
Gummy.
We're
gummy.
like these
I don't
Delta
know.
8s ain't shit.
Yeah, and so like we're like, fuck, we're not feeling anything. And I was like, I'm down to laugh. Like let's take another one. And so we go down to our dark ass basement. We're watching a movie, and at this,
Inception.
and like
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we're
bad.
watching Inception, and I am like so tired because I think we were hungover, and so I just like passed the fuck out in her basement.
And I was
'cause I
feeling,
forgot that I had taken these.
yeah, and I was watching Inception, and I was feeling the high, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting so scared right
And
now.
keep
This
in
movie's
mind-
freaky.
Keep in mind that I hate being high, so I wake up in this dark
Wait,
ass.
no, I go upstairs because I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to sleep in my bed because I don't want to be in the basement anymore. So I'm gonna go upstairs, and I left Kaley down in the basement because I was
Alone
I
in the
was
pitch
scared.
black
I was also
basement.
scared, and I was like, I cannot deal with Kaley right now because she's gonna be so scared, and
Freak you out more.
I'm freaked out right now. So I need to go to my room.
And so I wake up, and first of all, I'm like, holy shit, is it 5 a.m.? Like, I had no idea what had happened. And I'm like scared that, like, I'm like, oh shit, like, what the fuck is going on? And I look at my phone, and only like an hour had passed by. Like, I had not been knocked out for that long. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Like, I'm super confused, but like, I don't know. And the minute I start walking up the stairs, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm high.
You forgot you were high.
I forgot that I like had taken the stuff. And so all of a sudden I'm like, Katie!
like she's
And
screaming throughout my house, and I'm laying in my bed like, I'm like, oh
Don't
god,
let
here
her
she
out.
comes. I have to keep my cool, or else this is gonna just spiral even more and more. And so she comes in, she's like, Katie, I'm scared, and I'm like, it's okay, but it's not. I was like,
And I'm like, how do I get rid of this feeling? I don't like it. And Katie like hands her your pillow. She's like, here, just squeeze this and go to bed.
hug the pillow.
My favorite time ever being high was in Colorado.
Yes.
We had a road trip to the legal state of Colorado, and we took some gummies. We also hit a dab pen, and dab pens do not mess around with those. They are very strong and potent, and if you don't smoke weed often and you hit one, you will die. So me and Katie took the honor of hitting a dab pen many times in a car, and I think we were
Before
high
we went to the mall.
the entire trip. And so me and Katie are sitting in the back seat, and anytime we look at each other, we're like pissing our pants laughing. Like we just like get this grin on our face. Like I can literally picture it right now. And we look at each other, and I was like, wait, where are we going? And and everyone was like, the mall. And like 2 minutes later, me and Katie look at each other, we're like laughing, we're like, where are we going? And like we keep asking everyone, like, where the fuck is this car taking us? Like we had no idea. Literally every 2 minutes, we're like,
ejaculation seat.
where are we going? So we get to the mall, and me and Katie are convinced that we peed our pants. Like both of us think we peed our pants. So we're literally in the mall, bending over, like doing like leapfrog over each other because we were like checking each other's pants to see if
like, is there a piss stain in my pants?
Apparently it's a thing that when you're high, you like get this feeling that you peed your pants.
Yeah. So if anyone relates, let us know. And our other friend Samantha had like done the same thing as us,
and she was taking forever in the bathroom. We're like, what the fuck?
So me and Katie go in the bathroom.
Like, I thought I peed my pants.
You guys were like, meat.
What is that? Is that a sheep?
So me and Katie go into the bathroom where Samantha is, and we're like looking at her, and we're like, what? Wait, why are you taking so long? She goes, I think I peed my pants. We're like, holy shit. We're like, we thought we peed our pants too. So yeah, it is a thing.
And then
I was just
we
there
didn't
watching
get
it all.
anything at the mall. We were just walking around the mall, like
Being
checking
weird.
if we peed our pants.
Literally all we did was go into the mall, check if we peed our pants, and then left. And then on the ride back, Katie like coughed, and I made a mean face at her. So she like coughed. I like look at her, and I was like disgusted, like ew, because I just didn't like that. And then I started crying because I was like, wow, I wonder how many times people have made mean faces at me behind my back. And then I cry a lot when I get high.
Yeah, you cry a lot when you get high. But that like when
I
you're in
want
the
to play
car,
back of that of that sound that I made.
We will.
So during that trip, stop. During that trip when we were in the car, we were in Anna's sister's. Who was the van of?
It was Ed's van.
Okay, so we were in this van.
I look like a
And-
fucking trailer park mom with my belly out right now.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And
Sorry.
and so the two bucket seats in the van, one of them had 2 seatbelts and one of them didn't have a seatbelt at all.
Yeah.
So I had the one with no seatbelt and Anna had the one with 2 seatbelts.
And we called the one without the seatbelt. We were trying to call
yours didn't go to the ground.
Yeah, it
Like
the
it
two
moved around as like if we would hit a bump, the seat would move around because it wasn't stuck
It was
in the
not a
bottom of the
seat,
van.
we tried to call the one without seatbelts that wasn't attached.
Yeah.
The ejection seat, but I accidentally called it the ejaculation seat. So throughout the whole trip, we called the seat in Ed's van the ejaculation seat, and it had no seatbelts. Like it wasn't even attached
I was
properly to
sitting in
the
it.
floor. And Katie was sitting in it. And then on our way back from Colorado,
This is literally what triggered my driving anxiety.
point of view, super icy out, like
Coming home.
basically a blizzard
It's
in
like raining,
Nebraska.
but
We're
turning
going
into
through
ice.
small town York, and all of a sudden, my sister, who's driving the car, starts swerving all over the road, and I literally am in the back seat. I'm like, Paige, stop swerving the fucking
stop
car right
swerving the
now. I
car.
was like, Paige, stop swerving the
She's
car.
like, I can't.
What are you doing? Literally the scene from the Kardashians.
The scene from the Kardashians
Okay,
where,
but like,
where
point of
Chloe's
view,
driving.
we are not only swerving down the road, we are fucking hitting poles.
we are in the median, like
And
we're
going
swinging,
back and forth.
We're
like,
swinging on like the middle, like
and the whole
median
time they're
area,
like,
knocking
"Paige, stop,
shit.
I can't. Like, it's so much chaos
And
happening.
Paige was like, I'm not swerving, it's the ice. And I was like, oh, duh. And then we're like
just playing a
swerving around the road, going back and forth. We almost go into like the incoming traffic. Really would have been really bad. But luckily we had
we wouldn't be here
Mr.
recording.
Skinny watching over us. Someone was watching over us that day. And we actually just ended up going into a ditch. And
a very shallow
A
ditch.
very
'cause
shallow
if it was
ditch.
any steeper, like we would have fucking flipped.
we would have flipped.
Yeah.
And like everyone, the car's silent. And I'm just
And I literally,
We hit the ditch. Like, we're safe. Like,
I am literally seconds away from a heart attack. Like
Yeah.
I thought, like,
Haley's face was pure
fear.
terror.
Yeah.
I was having a good time. I was
and
like,
I thought it
this
was hilarious,
fun.
and I'm like, I literally just thought of what I was going to do if this car flipped. Like how
Oh, I
I was
thought I was good.
the whole time. I'm like, fuck. Do I put my seatbelt on? Is it like there was so much?
I'm over here in the ejaculation seat about
no
to fall.
seatbelt.
Yeah.
What's the-
I have
okay,
like
Can I
two
say
seatbelts
something?
cross-bodied.
Okay, but like
I would have been fine, I guess.
in the amount of time that we were like swerving back and forth, you have like so much time to think about what's gonna happen.
What did you think about?
I literally thought that I was going to die. And so like I had so much fucking anxiety after this because like it was the weirdest fucking moment ever. Because
Like you legit thought you were dead.
I thought I
Your
was going to
life is
die. I
flashing
thought that
before your
once
eyes.
once we stopped, the car stopped, like I thought something was gonna happen and we were gonna die. The car was gonna come, we were gonna roll into a ditch. My seatbelt wasn't on.
I honestly did think the same. I
And
thought
so
we were
it was
dead
like
too.
it
Yeah.
was like I didn't think I was dead. I thought I was going
I
to
didn't
die.
think we were dead. Yeah, I thought we were gonna die. Yes.
Yeah.
But if
And
I
so
was
it
gonna
was
die,
like
I'm glad
30
it would be that
seconds.
situation.
It was like 30
Facts.
seconds of just contemplating everything in my life, and it was the craziest moment ever, honestly.
such an
because
adrenaline rush. If
it
you guys
was-
ever needed adrenaline,
Just get into a car accident in a shitty van.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we went into a ditch. We just drove. We straight up just drove out of the ditch afterwards. Like nothing happened.
okay, so then we
We
were in
didn't
the
get
ditch.
towed or anything.
We were in the ditch and it was all silent. Like we all just like had a super
we all
intense,
just-
like high adrenaline moment. We're all just looking around each other like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? Is everyone okay? And Anna says,
That wasn't the roller coaster I wanted to go on.
and then
Super insensitive. I know.
super insensitive as I just contemplated my entire existence.
I just wanted to crack a joke.
It wasn't the moment.
Bad
I started
timing. I get
It
it.
wasn't even like 10 seconds after we had rolled into the ditch, like immediately after Anna said that. And I was just like,
That wasn't the roller coaster I wanted to go on. I was being truthful.
okay, well,
And we were fine. We went home, and then it spurred Kaylee's driving anxiety.
yeah. And then I like literally couldn't drive without having a panic attack for like
But now
months
she's
after.
okay. And this brings us back to being grateful that we're here today on the podcast. Thanks so much for listening. That was, and then there were three. I'm Anna.
Kaley and I'm Katie.
Buckle up.